Welcome guys, Matt from Total Drummer, and we're discussing here how to become a drum teacher. And in particular, we're talking about when is the right time to start teaching drums. When is the right time to start teaching drums? Well, first thing is, do you want to teach drums? You know, is this your goal? If it is, well, I guess it should be because you're here watching this video. So, you know, I'm going to assume that you do want to teach drums. It's something you've got a desire for and a passion for. So then the question, when should you start teaching drums? When is the right time to start teaching drums? Quite simply, that time is now. It's now. You know, we will often put things off, especially if they seem a bit scary. You know, our brain is very good at trying to protect us from things that feel like they might be scary and seem a bit risky, right? So it'll give you all these little subconscious reasons why you shouldn't do it, why now isn't the right time. Coronavirus, there's a recession, I don't know, there could be a million reasons. You can insert anything there. Your brain will find excuses to either not to try at all, which is a terrible state to be in if it's something that you are passionate about and would transform your life. Or, nearly as damaging, is the brain will tell us, not now. Now's not the right time. Maybe next week, maybe in a month. Let's give it 6 months, maybe in a year. Right, that's almost as bad, if not as bad, as just writing it off, because the truth is, you're never going to do it. You're never going to do it. The brain knows in 6 months or in a month or whatever, it's going to find a new excuse for you to just put it off again. So it'll keep you thinking it's going to happen, but really, it's going to be putting you off. It's just a protective mechanism to try and keep you safe, keep that status quo there. That's all well and good, right? But if the status quo is you're getting up every day doing a job you don't really want to do, or at least you're not passionate about, that's a waste of life. I don't want to be morbid here, but look, you've got one life. Your life could be over. We don't know. You could get hit by a bus in a month. We don't know. The point is, you should be doing something every day that you're passionate about. Your job is what you spend most of your waking hours doing. So why on earth would you not be doing something you love for your job? You know? And again, we find little excuses to tell us why that shouldn't be the case. You know, maybe like we think, well, my parents didn't do that, or my friends aren't doing that. This is what I'm supposed to do. I have to go out there and do a job, and yeah, I don't like it, but suck it up. That's what being a grown-up's all about. I get it, but I'm really passionate about not doing that. I'm really passionate about finding your real passion in life and making that, like, working your life around that. So I speak to so many people that would love to teach drums, and they've got a million excuses as to why they can't do it. And every time I know they can do it, and I work with them and help them figure that out and just get the mindset right. So why is now the right time to teach drums? Well, I just said life's short, life is precious, so you need to start doing it now. But also, you know, all of these excuses, they're not true, okay? So the big one recently, coronavirus, it's just not true. It's just not true. I've seen the people who work with from Total Drummer to create drum teaching businesses have not seen that. I haven't experienced that. There is opportunity to grow. One of our guys in there, it's a story I like to tell because it's so successful. He did one thing. It was free. It didn't cost him anything to do. It took him 15 minutes to do it, and he got 50 student inquiries from that. 50. And this is when he had taken things online during lockdown, so he could still keep his business going. And for a lot of people, they just kind of hope they would maintain a business. Well, he did this one thing, took him 15 minutes, cost him nothing, and he got 50 inquiries. Now let's just do some conservative numbers here. Let's say those 50 students, they came for half an hour a week. Okay, for a half an hour lesson a week. Some of them, in reality, probably would be an hour. But let's keep it conservative, say half an hour a week. And let's say they pay £20 or $20 per lesson, right? That means from this one action, he would make £1,000 or $1,000 per week. Over a year, that's £52,000. Okay, now I know that you wouldn't do it every week. You would have some time off for holidays. But at the same time, some of those students would also come for an hour, so the income numbers would rise there. And plus you could grow other students around that. Point is though, you understand the point, if you're just keeping the math simple, from that one action, he could generate enough income to make £52,000 a year. Now that's way above the national average salary at that time. And he'd only be working 25 hours a week. Remember, it's 50 students coming for half an hour a week. It's only 25 hours a week, right? So most people go to work 40 hours a week, plus travel time. So for a little bit over half of that effort per week, hourly effort, you could be earning way over national average. and you're doing it with something you're passionate about. And that's during lockdown. That's when people are like, oh my God, I can't start a business now, the whole world's collapsing. Okay, now that's a brilliant example of, or as an example of a brilliant result. I'm not saying everyone gets that result, but that just illustrates the point that the opportunities are there for the people that put the effort in, they can do it. So any of those little kind of internal dialogues you've got telling you, oh no, we can't do it, this is happening or that's happening, it's just don't listen to those voices, because they're going to keep you in your place doing the same thing you do every day and it won't change. All right, so if you really want to make this happen, the time is now. You start building. It won't be perfect at the beginning. Yes, it'll be hard work. You're gonna have issues, you're gonna have problems, you're gonna have struggles, but you overcome them. You won't ever overcome them until you start, right? And if you're worried that you've already got a job and you haven't got time, I hear that a lot, I haven't got time. Honestly, that's you really saying I can't be bothered, that I don't want it enough. Because you've got time. Even if you worked a full-time job, you could start teaching on a Saturday, or you could do it in the evenings. And it'd be tiring at first, but once you build your students up, you can start to scale back the other job. So you're just starting to build your drum teaching income around your other jobs. So there's no risk at all. You've still got income coming in, you're still paying the bills, you haven't quit your job, it's all fine. But only when you've got enough income from your new thing, your passion, drum teaching, can you then safely quit your other job. Okay? So if you're telling yourself you haven't got time, really what you're saying is you can't be bothered, you don't want it enough. Which is fine, right? But don't let that excuse rule your thoughts and rule your decisions, because it's just not true. If it's something you're really passionate about, now is the time, okay? Now, if you want to plan, you want to process, you want to understand all the nuts and bolts of how to do this, there's a free training, there's the videos below, you can click on and see when the next one's coming up. It's really soon, and you'll find out all the things that you need to get in place to make this work, and you'll get a download as well, be a blueprints download, where you can follow that and just tick it off as you go. If you want to do it, it's going to give you everything you need. It's completely free, and the link is below this, so I will see you over there.